My name is Azumi. I'm from Japan. I currently live in Hawaii. In today's video, I would like to introduce myself and talk about how I learned English and explain a little bit about the program called phonics, which is the best method to learn English. So, when I was 11 years old, I moved to New York and lived there for about 4 years. My dad was an airplane mechanic, so my family would move around a lot because of his job. This is what brought us to New York. And while living there, I went to the Japanese School of New York and studied Japanese with other Japanese kids. After that, I went to a local junior high school, so technically I have studied English in the States about 3 years. I was somewhat an introvert, so I wasn't able to make a lot of friends at school, and I hated being in the United States, so I didn't even try to study English at all. When I returned to Japan, my English was very poor, but my mom forced me to take the Aiken Grade 2 test, which is for Japanese high school graduates, but I failed. Have you ever heard of someone failing the Aiken Grade 2 after living in the United States more than 4 years, especially when they were a kid? I haven't, but I actually failed. All my friends in Japan asked me to speak English because they think I can speak English well. And my friends were like, "Hey, Azumi, how do you say blah 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 in English?" And I was like, "I don't know because I don't speak English." And they said, "How come you don't? You are lived in the United States. Are you an idiot?" And I really had those conversations a lot, and that made me hate English even more. So after these experiences, it kind of traumatized me, so I avoided English. After that, I lived peacefully without any English in Japan for about 20 years. But for some reason, my family and I decided to move to Hawaii when I was 35 years old. By the way, I'm 41 now, so it's been 6 years since I moved to Hawaii. Anyway, so I failed Aiken Grade 2 when I was 15 years old, and I hadn't used any English for 20 years. So you can imagine that how bad my English was. But moving to Hawaii made me rethink things, and this is probably the best opportunity to study English and overcome the unpleasant experience from my childhood. So I made a big promise to myself that I would study English hard before moving to Hawaii. First, I went to a bookstore and bought some English grammar books for junior high school students. I went to an English conversation school and also took some online English lessons through Skype. However, no matter how hard I studied, I could not even become an intermediate English speaker, like most Japanese English learners. So I researched the internet to see if there was a better way to study English, and I found that there's an English program called phonics. Phonics teaches the connection between a letter and the sound it makes. For example, the letter C sound a k sound. It also teaches how to merge separate sounds together to make one word. For example, blending the sound k, a, p makes cat. I thought this is too easy, and I didn't want to learn this way since this program is for small children. At the same time, phonetics could be helpful, because I knew a lot of English words, but I was not sure 100% how to pronounce all of them. And if your pronunciation is off, people are not going to understand you. In other words, you cannot understand what people say even though you know the words. After I realized this, I started teaching myself phonics. The original phonics program that I downloaded from the internet was for small children, so I changed quite a bit and made an adult version. And all of a sudden, my English improved a lot. Now, I was told by a lot of people in Hawaii, "Are you really Japanese? Your English is very good." And some people think my English is great because I have lived in the United States since I was a kid, which is not true. Well, I'm not saying that my English is as good as native English speaker or that my English is at advanced level, but I suppose this is decent enough since I started studying English after I turned 35. I'm not saying that studying with grammar book, going to an English conversation school, or taking an online lesson are bad or worthless. These are actually very important and effective. However, at some point, you need to blend the letter and the sound it makes together. You have to combine these two different concepts as soon as possible. I can tell you that the most effective way to learn English is to study phonics at the very beginning and then study with books and take English lessons. And I would like to explain more about phonics in future video. So meanwhile, if you have any questions, please leave comments on YouTube or shoot me a tweet on my Twitter. I hope you enjoyed my video and please subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching. I will see you again soon.